Let's take a look at the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 28th session. And as you can see here, we've come across this daily trend line, but we did not have any conviction. We've closed back inside of it, and we're still really playing around with that level. Also, you'll notice that for the daily chart, we're really in a neutral position here with the MACD, slightly bullish because it is above, but very, very close to the waterline here, so it's very neutral. Now, if you take this down to a 4-hour chart, we're going to see if there's anything in particular there that helps us to appreciate what's going on. Now, you can see there was that big drop that we had at the end of last week on the pound dollar, and we've basically had consolidation since then. And when we get a trend line break on a really strong time frame like the 4-hour chart for intraday trading, we really don't want to just start stepping in front of it. But what's happening again is a really nice consolidation pattern that's going on here. The MACD is still suggesting to us downward motion, right? It's bearish here on the 4-hour time frame. And again, this is closer to the time frames that a lot of us are trading. So there's that downward, that 4-hour and daily trend line that was broken. It's closed back inside of this longer term daily trend line. And as you can see, really tight consolidation. This is good for us. We love these types of consolidation. And if you draw this trend line down here on the bottom, that's going to be really nice. And the other level that's going to be really nice is this level right here. That resistance level up in that area. So we've had some major downward trend line break. I should say break. Sorry about the frog in the throat. So again, to the downside, since that's the trend that we're really in right now, short term, we're going to look for a close on the 1-hour chart below this trend line here for a sell. We're also going to look for a close above this resistance line here as a buy. Now this range is a little bit wider than you actually might think. So you're going to go ahead, we're going to measure that. You're going to see it's well over 100 pips in here. We're also going to watch for 2 other buys and sells. We're going to take this down to a 30-minute chart so it becomes a little bit clearer to see. And on this 30-minute chart in here, you can see that we have a trend line that's moving up through this area right here. Any kind of close below this trend line on a 30-minute chart that'll exist, we're going to get into a sell position. And we're going to take some off as we come down to the support trend line and then leave some on to see if it's going to run. This is important because right now, as you can see, there's no trend here on the MACD. No trend whatsoever, neutral position. So that means that we could begin an early trend in the middle of this wedge that we're forming. The other trade that we're going to watch for, we do have this swing high that's coming up, is we have this nice resistance trend line shorter term. Any kind of close above this on a 30-minute chart, we're going to look for a long. Again, take some money off the table up here at this resistance level, leave some on to see if it's going to run. So we have 2 buys and 2 sells that we're looking for here on the pound dollar. Also, if price does hold up at these levels, we'll see if we get a trend line break in the opposite direction. Also, at this level, we'll see if we'll get a buy down here. So there's really 6 possible trades that are set up for the pound dollar. 3 buys and 3 sells, and again, outside of the main range, inside of the main range if we get to these levels and it holds, and then these trend lines. So I hope that doesn't seem a little complicated for you, but we're right in the middle, and we're right in the middle of a big range. Usually we have 6 trading opportunities that'll set up, and remember that a couple of those trading opportunities will be very short term. You should be able, in a range that's this big, 100 pips, maybe be able to pick up 25 to 40 pips. So that's what we're looking for in the pound dollar for the October the 28th session. Now let's take a look at the pound yen for the upcoming October the 28th session. On a daily chart here, again, the trend is slightly transitioned to bullish here. We're hanging out at the 200-day exponential moving average, as you can see right here. And you're not very clearly able to see it at this particular point, but as we move into the lower time frames, you're going to notice that we kind of have a 1, 2, 3 top. Now, it's rather shallow 1, 2, 3 top in here for a daily. It just hasn't developed over enough time. But as we move on down to the 4-hour chart, you can see very clearly here's a 1, there's the 2 level, and there's a 3. So you have a 1, 2, 3 top. And trading a pattern, we haven't talked about trading a pattern quite a bit here in the videos that we've done. But what we're going to do is we're going to get this support area down here. We're going to draw that. We're going to actually draw 3 lines. We're going to draw the support line right here. We're going to draw this resistance line here where this number 3 point is. And then we're also going to draw this level right here. And this is what we look for. Okay, we're going to look for really just to trade these levels here. Now, I don't trade breakouts. Remember, that's why we say wait for the close of a candle. Breakout is usually just a few pips on the other side. People get in those, and we've shown you before. Like here's a breakout to the downside, sucks back up, and then goes right back on up against your trade. Wait for that candle to close. At one point in time, this candle right here was very bearish, and then it turned into a very, very tiny hammer. So how we want to take a look at this is any kind of close below the number 2 point here on a 1-hour chart, we're going to look for a sell. And let's move this down to a 60-minute chart just to be a little bit more cautious. Any kind of close below this level here on a 60-minute chart, we're going to look for a sell opportunity. Anything that closes above the number 3 point, that's going to be a 1, 2, 3 top failure, right? We're going to look for the first point of failure. Any kind of close above this resistance level on a 60-minute chart, we're going to be looking for a buy, right? Now, if price does happen to come all the way up here at this point, then we'd be looking perhaps at a double top. Again, that means this 1, 2, 3 top in here would have failed, and then it might turn into a double top. So when it comes up to this level, if price closes above this level here on a 60-minute chart, we're going to look for a long. Now, what we're going to watch for, because it would take quite a bit of a run up to get up to this level up here, is that if price gets up there and and it just holds and holds and holds, and then there's some kind of trend line out here in the future, and it closes below that on a 60-minute chart, then we're going to be looking for a sell. And the reason we say 60-minute chart is because if you take a look, we're like almost 300 pips from here to here. So if it gets up there, it may just be more than a 30-minute chart. It might be actually a day or two away if you're going to keep this in your records of what to watch for. But that would be a broken 1, 2, 3 top that turns into a double top. So really, we're looking for one sell on a 1-hour time frame, candle close below this level. We're looking for a buy on a 1-hour chart close above this level. And then we have one other buy and one other sell up that's based up here around this double top. So 2 buys, 2 sells to keep your eyes on for the pound yen for the October the 28th session.